Look at that.
I feel like I'm in a village.
Yeah,
It's
you're in a
in
village.
very a sandy village in the Sandbox at RSA.
That's
You're getting
right.
everything.
I got the
Did
sand between my toes.
no?
That's right.
Did they put sand really this year? Like you're walking on sand?
It would be nice. The weather outside would be beach weather, to say the least. It's beautiful.
Ooh,
So,
nice.
That's a
but being
nice
inside
change for
the
San Francisco.
darkened conference center, it is. It is. So it's
Cool.
definitely not a warm June, but it is awesome. So how are you guys doing?
We're doing
We're
good.
great. We're
Yeah,
thankful to have you
awesome.
on and bringing us the experience from the Sandbox
Yeah,
there in
absolutely.
San
Sorry, I'm
Francisco, RSA.
giving you the shaky. I don't have the. I should have got one of the steady cam things to hold on to. So, but
It's
It's all
yeah,
okay.
good, all part of the
you're,
experience. And
that's right.
So,
so
Sean,
yeah,
a little introduction because people that just watch us on social media, they may have no idea what's going on here.
just
So, before
randomly
Steve
Exactly.
arrived here.
goes, before Steve goes
Some dude
around,
just showed up and started
who?
talking.
Yeah,
That's
who's
right.
that guy in
Yeah. So
space?
if you're joining us
That's right.
on this one, we're streaming live during RSA conference and connecting with people who are there. Marco and I are behind the scenes in the control room, making this happen. And we're thankful for you joining us. And we've had speakers, panelists, hosts, and now we have Steve, who heads up the Aerospace Village, one of the many villages in the Sandbox at RSA conference. Where maybe I don't know, Steve, if you can kind of describe the purpose of the Sandbox and the
Yeah.
villages, that would be cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're just one of them, the Aerospace Village here at RSA. We're the Aerospace Sandbox. But around the room, I'll try to pan easily enough and do this while I'm talking. But you've got a variety of other areas around here: Internet of Things security, industrial control systems security, medical device security, application, you name it, all in this one area. And the intent is to be able to bring in more technical, hands-on, engage with folks as they're coming in, teach, show them, get them exposed to these things. That is not a vendor talk. It is not a pitch. So right now we're really enjoying it because you got the college group coming in this afternoon before RSA closes up. So getting people in here, it doesn't hurt when you throw up Top Gun Maverick on the old Microsoft flight simulator. Everybody, that's, can't go wrong with that. So it's an easy way to get everybody in, and lots of stuff to show them. So that's whole area. You can hear the other side. They've got a lot of startups, and they're talking about the work that they're doing. So it's a nice shared space with a whole lot going on.
Yeah, and it reminds me, Steve. I don't know if they have this outside of the U.S., but ROP for in high school, right? You get their hands on occupational projects
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you
yeah.
actually dig into specific areas. It might be welding, it might be agriculture, different things. So these villages are super cool because you can actually, as you mentioned, a few of them. IoT is another one with Ted Harrington. He's
Yeah.
a host here on iTesting Magazine, and you can actually touch the coffee
Yeah.
machine. You can touch
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
simulators. You can touch the car. I know there's a car hacking village, maybe not at RSA this year, but you can touch the car, the Tesla,
Mm-hmm.
and the
Yep.
controls. And yeah,
Moving
go ahead.
around to start showing you some of the stuff we have here for exactly that.
Yeah,
So
go
yeah,
go
that's the
go for
beauty of
it.
it.
Go
Yeah,
for it.
you
Sure,
roll.
sure, sure. No, this is perfect, John. You're the excellent host leading the way through. So one of the things that we were able to bring in, Steve Scarborough, who's here with me, another fellow Steve, holding down the fort, but he put all this together. He works with IntelliGenesis, IG Labs in particular. And what we have is basically he's got program logic controllers, industrial control systems, and emulating a runway lighting system at an airport. So the things that we bring together, government, industry, hackers, that's our mission. And we do that, and we're talking about making things secure across airports, aircraft, space systems, and communication and navigation systems. So what Steve's built here is a way to get people engaged, to get them to get hands-on so they can go through missions, they can see what the effects look like when they get done following through. It's a learning opportunity, it's an engagement opportunity. They get to hear his experience and learn from him, so it makes for a great setup. The other side here, whoops, Hold on. Technical difficulties with the old man in the phone.
It just went in space. It's all dark there.
There we go. There we go. So some of the other stuff we've had, Cal Poly was out here. They had to leave a little early. But Henry Danielson coming in, they have a capture the flag competition they set up. The first time they did it a few months ago, they did it with U.S. High school kids. It was designed for that level, get them engaged, get them involved, get them interested. And now they're opening up one that's going to be in October, and it's going to be international. So anybody can come join, and again, at high school level, get them interested in things. Our friends from Hackasat came in. Rachel and friends, say hello.
Hello.
So they are demonstrating and talking about what they're doing in their third year of Hackasat. CubeSat on the table so folks can see what the competition teams are doing. The systems representing the satellites, but they are getting to get hands-on as part of the CTF and the $50,000 grand prize. So of course they're very interested in learning that. But it's continuing to grow.
I could use 50K.
Yeah, exactly. If you and Marco could throw together a team, yeah, exactly. So yeah, this year the quals have already
I'll tell the
happened,
story.
and the final's going to be at DEF CON.
Finals this year are in October out of LA, but next year the finals will be at DEF CON, and we're very excited for it.
And moving towards an on-orbit hacking competition. So it's only getting better. So definitely big things coming from there.
So
and
you're bringing stuff down for real.
Yes.
You're bringing down the
satellite.
satellite.
Well, this they're bringing down. It's actually here. When they're doing stuff on orbit, they are going to be hacking and interacting with one that they're launching out of Space Force. So it's going to be a good setup.
Wow.
Cool. My friends from the other villages, scoot over. I'm showing the tour. Dave from the supply chain village on the other side here. So, and Boeing came in. They brought us. Scoot around so you can see a little bit better. But they brought in an electronic flight bag. So representing what pilots are using in a commercial cockpit. This is a much older version, but it's the touch screen, it's the maps, it's the airfield diagrams, it's what you use when you're landing at night, landing in bad weather where you can't see the runway, and talking about the cybersecurity behind that, what it takes to make sure that thing stays secure, keeps it safe, and even now where it's transitioned, where they're using iPads and things like that. So as these technologies mature, keeping them secure the entire way. So it's been really good. Lots of people coming through. Lots of chance to answer questions for folks and get them involved. And like I said, having a flight simulator here. And we've actually been having a competition. Anybody that wants to come through, try to fly it, see who can get the best score. And there's been some entertainment, you might say, as, all that's been going on. So yeah, exactly. So, and I forgot somewhere in here too, our director for the Aerospace Village, but Matt Martin's here also. So it's great to have the team, everybody that's been able to come out, and again, just being able to host and have people come through.
Nice.
And obviously getting to show off to you guys. So I appreciate that.
I love that. And I want to get your thoughts on this for everybody listening, because some of these things you don't have access to, right? Just a normal schmo can't get access to a satellite.
Yeah. These electronic flight bags you can't get your hands on.
Exactly. So my point with that is it's a tremendous collaboration, right? Between the manufacturers. If you're doing Space Force, obviously that's a government collaboration there. Industry, security. So talk to me a little bit about how that all comes together, because that just doesn't happen magically, right? It's people like you that pull us together. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah. That's one of the beauties. That's why I love being a part of the village. Folks like Pete Cooper, Bo Woods, who were part of that founding team, and what they did initially where there was hesitancy. Exactly. Why would I want a bunch of people? We call them hackers. Clearly they do bad things. Why would I want them touching our electronics? Well, it's getting them to understand that's a stereotype. That's not true. They are trying to help you. They're trying to fix things because they just like to fix things. Some of them like to protect. Some of them want to do it for their reputation. Whatever the reason is, the things they're doing in security are going to make things safer across all the things that I mentioned before that we want people to not have to worry about, because they're super smart folks like this. So that conversation, that initial uncertainty that then turns into a relationship that builds further on the trust that's there, and then just keeps going. Small steps, but where now people want to come in, they want to join in what we're doing, they want to participate, and they want to be able to say, yeah, what can I do to support? How do I help train some young person to come in and get better at it, because they can't go out and buy a huge set. When they're doing the competition, those teams would get a flat set sent to them so they could learn the systems. They're doing it virtual now, but it's just those different technologies, or electronic flight bag, like I mentioned, and even what Steve built with the program logic controllers. Not cheap, not easy. Now you've got something that's realistic. It can apply across a number of things in critical infrastructure security, which is near and dear to all of our hearts, because that's what makes the world that we live in exist and keeps things going that we care about. And so this opportunity is just seeing it grow is great. It's great to be a part of it. And we have an amazing group of volunteers that help make all this happen. And then supporters like this that bring things out to RSA.
Yeah, and I'm going to add these, that Sean and I, we got to experience these DEF CON, where the villages were actually born. You mentioned Pete, and you mentioned other people that we're very familiar with. We got some tour there, and it's just amazing. And I enjoyed to see these giving another window, an opportunity to spread the word about all you do, because it's actually, Sean, it's unbelievable when you get into that big room and you see a Tesla on the floor and people hacking it, and virtual machine. And I remember it's flight simulator at the Aerospace Village and everything. So this is what people need to understand, like that is about preventing problems, not wait to happen and then be like, oh, now we got to patch this. Let's patch it before the bad stuff happen, right?
Yeah. Let's train the people. Mark, I'm going to add on to that real quick. Let's train the people who understand what's going on so they can either prevent it or patch it when we do need it. Because we know it's going to happen, but it's that it's solving the workforce problem. It's getting the folks interested to come in. So absolutely, what you said, and just being able to get all of that together.
Yeah, and I want to add another thing. We just had a conversation with you and Renee Wynn from former NASA.
That was so good.
And tell us about the collab. Oh, that was great, and everybody just go check it out. It was beautiful storytelling about what's going on and the technology and what come back to us here on planet Earth that is being developed because of that. Tell us about the relationship that you mentioned Boeing, now I'm bringing NASA to the table, and how important it is, again, to bring all the stakeholder to the table to do and help you doing what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing. You think about like LinkedIn and getting a job and professional networking, things like that. The volunteers that we have in the village. I have a government background, I have a military background, I have a flying background. I have a little bit of cybersecurity knowledge, just enough to be dangerous. I bring that network, those connections in. We've got their entire career, deep expertise, technical hackers. That's their professional job. They've been doing it forever. We've got strategy people, we've got students, and they all know somebody that's doing something, and they know a person, and he knows her, and she does something cool. And next thing you know, Renee Wynn's on a podcast with us and telling us these amazing stories, right? And then we did it a couple years ago when same thing. Well, I don't know, but he knows. And Pam Elroy is going to come in and tell us some stories about when she was an astronaut. And just having all of that, the folks that we have, they see this. And as we, thank you again, the engagement that you all provide to get the message out there. This exists. Do you want to join us? Folks come in, they volunteer. Hey, I have an idea. I know a person. Do you want to talk to them? Would that be useful? And so it just continues to grow, and the momentum continues to accelerate. It's not just growing, it is accelerating. And so that's why we love it. This is very, very small. When we're at DEF CON, and if you come there and you'll see us as the Aerospace Village, we have a very large space and it's full. And which is awesome. This is a great problem where now we're having to worry how we're going to bring all this because of getting folks involved like we have been. So again, y'all support and letting us help get that message out there is absolutely appreciated.
Steve, I love these stories, and I feel honored that we can have these conversations with you and the other folks you bring
Yeah, you bet.
to the show, and share it with others. Because I think, I don't know, sometimes security doesn't seem sexy and fun, and maybe it isn't to a lot of people, but
Sometimes.
aerospace is, automotive is, right? Industrial
Yeah,
control
yeah,
systems can be.
that's right. Yeah,
Um, so there are sectors that are really interesting that need
yeah,
cybersecurity. So I guess my point is, I would encourage everybody to, even if cyber isn't the core, it's important, and you can connect to that through through another
yeah,
industry or sector that you're
yeah.
maybe a little more passionate about. So
And you don't have to have that deep technical background.
exactly.
Everybody, we all are supported by volunteers. Anything that you are going to bring something useful to the work that all of us are doing. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a technical background. It doesn't have to be on that particular topic. You want to learn it. You want to help out. Yeah, please come join us.
Yep, love it. And obviously, RSA conference, one stop. You mentioned DEF CON as the next one
Yep.
in Vegas in summer,
Hmm.
but aerospacevillage.org, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, yes. Thank you. I
Yep,
was going to
yep,
ask. Make sure to get
yep.
that out there. Aerospacevillage.org. Please take a look
Yeah,
at our
because
site. You can
it's not an.
volunteer.
Yeah, I was going to say, Steve, it's not just we're here for a few days at the event.
That's right.
Connected,
That's
it's
right.
all year long, and
That's right.
very important to get engaged. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, Steve, it's always a pleasure, and
Yep.
thanks for bringing us into the sandbox.
Yeah, absolutely.
Super fun
This
and
was
showing us
great.
Hey,
around. Yeah.
say goodbye to our friends at ITSP. There's Ken Monroe. I promised you was in this
There's
area.
Ken.
Friend of the
Yeah.
broadcast. So
Yep.
Yes.
awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
Good to see
Love it.
Thanks,
everybody.
Yep.
fellas.
Big hugs to
Thank you,
everybody
Steve.
there.
We'll catch up with
Catch you later.
more
You bet.
conversation.
And
Thank
thanks
you.
Absolutely.
everybody. Thanks
Thanks,
for
fellas. Have a
listening.
good day.
Absolutely. More streaming live here coming soon. Catch you in a bit.